What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we got some really cool things to talk about regarding just the future content for this game. Thank you to Miller, who was on a podcast yesterday, which we'll be talking about throughout this video, but some really cool things regarding the villains coming to this game, and most importantly something really crucial that needs to be added into this game. Now, I do just want to say right here that I'm now taking new ideas for the Marvel's Avengers game shows, so basically any ideas you have for this game in terms of new DLC content you want to see added, heroes as a whole, or gameplay features, just drop them in the comments below, and the ones that get the most thumbs up will be featured in that video, which will hopefully be in the next couple of days. But nonetheless, let's dive into this video because we got some really cool information. As always, let's try and crush 3 likes and go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button below if you have not already. So yesterday Miller was on a podcast, and if you watched my video yesterday as well, you will know that Miller was sharing his thoughts regarding the future content in this game as a whole, and especially when it comes down to Black Panther's release date. What's also interesting is we know that Crystal Dynamics are fully aware of Miller as well, so if you haven't checked out that video, definitely check it out after this one. But that's basically where it all kind of sparked up, and then Miller for the first time has been on a podcast, which I'm going to link in the description below as well. It's about an hour and a half long, so it's really long, but it's discussing literally the state of the game. And we know that Miller, essentially, he's been doing all this data mining. I honestly say it's completely safe to say that Miller, I guess if it wasn't for Miller, I guess stepping into the community when he did, that a lot of people would have kind of given up with the game. And I do feel like we kind of owe Miller something in that perspective, because if it wasn't for him, we just wouldn't be excited for the future content. And I think sometimes it's almost as simple as that. Like, Crystal Dynamics are doing a great job, but when it comes down to people like this, I think they are crucial in our community. Now, like I said, the podcast is like an hour and a half long. I'm going to link it in the description below, but someone on Reddit just basically summarized what I guess it was key to take away from the podcast. Now, I've listened to about an hour of it, but one crucial thing is regarding this Kate Bishop update, how it's cool essentially, but it's not actually the big update as a whole. Basically, Miller was saying that the big update is going to be the Wakanda update, and he says that he thinks that it is definitely going to bring people back. He spoke really highly of this content and said everyone is in there, Vidora, etc., and he thinks that this is what literally, like I said, will bring people back. Now, this is a crucial bit of information because I know we were all super stoked for the Black Panther DLC since, of course, they've done it with the teaser on the War Table stream when we first got a look at the logo. From then, a lot of people were really excited, but of course, now that they delayed Kate Bishop's DLC, it almost kind of dampened the excitement for this Wakanda update, right? But that being said, when it comes down to new content, this is what is going to be the crucial thing in the game. And I think this is another reason to just stay on the ball with this hype train for this DLC content, because like I said, and like a lot of people are saying as well, when it comes down to Miller saying something like this, we know he's got a lot of more information than we do, right? I mean, he has access to so many different things, and at this stage I don't even know if Miller has found more things if he has data mined since, but I don't know if he's actually technically stopped that, right? But we don't even know if he has basically found more regarding it. Of course, he's been saying about the characters, saying everyone is in the Wakanda update, and he seems very passionate when he talks about that update specifically, kind of almost putting all his eggs in one basket with that one DLC or one piece of DLC content, I guess we could say, and how I guess Kate Bishop's update is kind of something that's going to be cool, but not really the full, you know, shebang in some sort of perspective. But the only problem is that a lot of people are talking about is when we're going to be getting Black Panther, and like I was saying yesterday, it seems like it's going to be a 2021 release date. Is that a good or bad thing? We don't really, I guess there's no right or wrong answer in that sense, because damage has been done and we want DLC content that's going to be great. But that being said, what I do really think Crystal Dynamics need to do, and if you are a dev watching this, again, the most utmost respect for you guys in the sense of the work condition that you guys have been under, with of course what's happened throughout this year, people literally having to move around, down and so forth due to all these crazy things that have happened this year as a whole. So we know it's been difficult in that perspective, but just like you teased in the last War Table stream when it comes down to Black Panther, I think just teasing DLC content is what the community is in need of. Being completely honest, that's it. Like, we know the bugs and so forth are priority, but I think at the same time you guys should definitely, without a doubt, tease the future DLC, tease things that you know people are really intrigued about, because that way it just keeps people's focus on this game rather than, of course, just consistently bringing up these crazy Steam numbers, which I saw again today. But that's one bit of information. Like I said, check out that informational podcast, I guess you can call it, from Miller and another dude. It's a really good quality bit of content, if that even makes sense. So go ahead and check that out. The link will be in the description below. Now, one thing I want to talk about is a villain. We know that a new villain is coming with Kate Bishop's DLC, which is something really cool. But what someone said in my comment section, and that is basically that who wants to see Loki as a villain sector essentially continuing the 4 iconic missions. And the reason why I bring this up, of course, is because Loki is more or less, I guess, confirmed as a villain in the game. He's already made an appearance. It's just a matter of when on earth will he actually become one of the main villains that we consistently battle, right? Just like we are with Abomination and Taskmaster, when are we going to come across Loki, right? That's the whole question here. But it seems like Loki is going to be another villain. Now again, would it make sense for the Kate Bishop DLC? Technically not in some sort of perspective, but of course at the same time, if you refer back to like great movie scenes when you got Hawkeye launching the arrow at Loki as well when he's chasing Black Widow as well, that's a really cool scene. So there's so many different things that having a villain when it comes down to Loki, for example, and then you can add things like transportation in the game as a whole, things to really be able to recreate these movie scenes is what I feel like we desperately need in terms of DLC content. Now, the final thing I want to add, and I don't know how I never saw this dude's comment before, but he said in a previous video, a map is needed. Just a little map of the area in the corner of the screen that you can toggle on and off, and that way I can keep track of where I've already explored. How this has never crossed my mind, I don't even know. I am genuinely disappointed that I've never thought of this. I feel like I have at some point, but for some reason I feel like I haven't as well. It's a really weird thing. But nonetheless, a mini-map that you can toggle on and off, absolutely crucial. 100%, because some maps in this game are actually relatively big to an extent, in the sense of you can go so many different directions, right, and then you kind of get lost. Well, did I go to that place or did I go to the other place? So I think a mini-map as well is going to be crucial. I have a feeling that maybe with the ping system that we know is coming to the game, we may well just get a mini-map, but again, I don't want to confirm any of that stuff because I don't know. My ideas are just as good as yours, but with a ping system and a mini-map, they could actually work hand in hand, and it would definitely make things a little bit easier. But guys, leave your thoughts on that in the comments below. And that's going to wrap up this video here. So the Wakanda update is the update we should all really be looking for, and Loki being a villain, a new villain to the game, is something we should be looking for. So leave all your thoughts on this in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and until the next one, adios amigos.